Hi guys, welcome. I had a lot of people RSVP this time, so hopefully we're going to have a good turnout today. Hi Reba, hi Lauren, Tim, welcome. We'll just give it a couple of minutes here as people start trickling in, but feel free to drop your whatever you're working on in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Or if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll get to them in order. Harrison's up first. Looks like you've got a YouTube ad. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Awesome, lots of stuff to look at today. Okay, well, let's get started. I'll share my screen. And Harrison, do you want to hop on and share what you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. So it's for my client, and basically it's a very simple funnel: YouTube ad to an opt-in page, then to a presentation,
Okay.
And then at the presentation they will book a call.
Okay.
So this is the ad that we thought has some potential.
Okay.
You can see the ad and the script.
You know the number one thing that most guys get wrong when it comes to women is they think you need to fit some sort of idea of masculinity. But if you look at all the guys who actually attract and intrigue women, they're all wildly different. Some are short, some are bald, some are fat even, some are very eccentric, and some are totally normal. But there's one thing that all these guys have in common. They're patterns of thinking and behavior. These are patterns that I call AMP patterns. AMP patterns are natural, authentic, masculine patterns of thinking and behavior. And these patterns
I'm just going to forward through it so I can see this.
What it feels like to have a completely clear mind as you connect with them. Now, because we work one-on-one with guys, space is limited and spots will fill up fast. So just click the link below, fill the application quickly, and then submit to schedule a call with us.
Okay. So I like the hook. Oh, this is the script here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same. He changed a little bit, a few words here and there, but mostly the same. And you can see the stats here too.
Okay. So it wasn't.
We think that the click-through rate is a little bit low.
It's low.
And yeah, so we're thinking maybe we're kind of qualifying a little bit too much or something.
I mean, how many people did you get? Just 4? You got 4 booked calls from this?
Yeah.
Okay. And did anybody end up closing? Do you know?
Not yet. I think they're calling these people right now. Just very, very recently. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, I think you did a good job with the, the pattern interrupt, that, like that first question. Do you know the number one thing most guys get wrong? I'm not sure if this is the answer though. Maybe you have to be a bit more direct, or that, saying something like, they think they have to be the ultimate alpha male, right? Like most guys will understand that, because the idea of masculinity is kind of subjective, right?
A bit vague.
For different people. Yeah. So you might want to pick something that is a bit more, not generic, but something that most people understand, if that makes sense. So, because ultimately you're trying to say like the typical guy, right? The typical guy traits, which is ultimately the alpha male, is what most people resonate with. So I might say something like that.
And also that's like mainstream media, no?
Yeah, exactly. And then I like that if you look at the guys who actually attract and intrigue women, they're all wildly different. And then you introduce what the hook is.
Yeah, the AMP pattern is kind of the mechanism for the presentation as well. Yeah.
So I really like that mechanism, but maybe my suggestion would be that, when you're explaining what it does, it broadcasts to women's subconscious that you're being completely authentic. That's really good. But it's still kind of broad, right? Like, I think most people would resonate with something like that. You're being, that you basically, that they're being the perfect guy, right? Like they're being the guy of their dreams, or the ideal man, right? Like you could kind of position it like that they're kind of like in their masculinity, right? Like they're comfortable in their being comfortable being a guy versus being completely authentic. Because authentic, that's kind of just it's just more of like a high level word.
Yeah, and I feel like it's less emotional as well, authentic.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right. Because ultimately, because I mean, for guys, and guys, you can chime in here because we've got a lot of guys on this on this call. When you guys are trying to approach a woman, you want to basically show off to her that you're like the perfect guy, right? Like that's really the goal that you're trying to accomplish with, and they're trying to learn to build up that type of confidence, right? That they feel confident enough that she feels that way is what you're trying to do. And so like the more that you can kind of, I guess, support that this, whatever I'm showing you will help you do exactly that, right? Like it will help you build your confidence that you can basically talk to any woman you want, and you'll trigger her psychological triggers, or however you describe it here.
Okay.
So she'll build that trust, and she'll be more connected to you, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you ever using ideal? So you're the ideal guy for her?
Yeah, the ideal guy, or the perfect guy for her, or the guy she's been waiting to meet, things like that.
Okay.
Because I like where you're going with this. I like the whole concept of it. I just think it needs to be communicated a bit more clearly and directly.
More direct. Okay. And what do you think about at the in the end?
Yeah. So with YouTube, what's cool is you can do a lot of like graphic overlays and stuff when you're like throughout the video. Actually, you can do like text overlays and things like that. So I would definitely do that for the call to action. With some sort of arrow, or fill out that.
Kind of like arrows pointing
exactly
to the link.
Yeah, just kind of like creating some drama on the screen to emphasize that this is go do something now, right?
Okay.
Spaces are limited. I mean, if you have a certain number of spaces, you can say we're only taking on like 20 guys right now. Like create a real sense of urgency that this is a very small group that we're accepting, or we're only taking 20 applications, something like that.
The quarterly goal is like 100 guys, so it's space are limited to 100 guys.
Okay, so you do have a limitation. Yeah. So I would just say that, we only have space for 100 people this round, or something like that. You don't have to be very specific about how you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think we should add just caption at the bottom?
I would do captions, yeah, because not everybody's going to be listening on, with the volume on.
Yeah, okay. Because we do have, say, for example, we have keywords showing up as texts, but you think adding captions in general will still help?
I would still do the captions, just because some people are going to listen to it muted, or try to watch it muted.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I just want to make sure if we'd had Isaac had some feedback. What if you add that you'll have guys looking to you for advice and a recognition of what will happen if they, so kind of position them as like what you'll learn here will have like other, your best friends are going to be asking you what on earth you did, to get that woman or get her attention or whatever. Like it's that powerful. It's that good.
Maybe I can write a different ad just on that angle.
You could, yeah. That's a really good one, Isaac.
Yeah. And try not to blend two angles together, but yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. I hope that was helpful.
Cool. Very helpful. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. You're welcome. Let's see. Amber, are you here?
I am. Hello.
Hi.
So this is part of the email series that I was working on last time we talked. It is 40 emails as a welcome series, driving people towards a free trial, and there's different tones to every email. But this is essentially the same slot, but for two different avatars. One is, as you can see there, more professional avatar, like they want to learn Spanish to advance their career. And the second one is more about travel and maybe even moving to another country where they speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And these are more of a direct I'm not going to say straight on sale, but it is more using more DR methods than some of the more trust building ones. And so
Okay.
I thought I could use some support on that.
Okay. And this is the first, oh, this is the part of a series, right?
Yeah, this is number 15 and 16 in the series.
Okay. So I think with the online Spanish immersion means that, how is that set up? That they're getting one-to-one calls and having like,
Yeah, they get, they basically, there's a couple businesses that do this. And one of the things that's unique about this company is they actually match you with your tutor rather than you having to scroll through tons and tons of teachers and guess which one might be a good fit. They
Okay.
help you find the right fit. And then it's a one-on-one like Skype call plus a whole lot of materials.
nice. Okay. I'm wondering if it might be stronger if you started with something about why immersion learning is actually like the best way to learn a new language, right? Like versus just studying it from a book or listening to audios or something like that. And then you lead into the fact that you guys have like mastered, immersion learning or that concept by having these one-on-one native Spanish speaking teachers be your tutor. And then you go into like why like your guys' teachers are better than anybody else.
We've kind of done that with the 2 weeks leading up to these. So
Okay.
it's basically, we're at that pivotal moment of the 2-week mark where for whatever reason, they haven't yet signed up for their free trial.
Oh,
We
okay.
then get them into our system. And so this is more kind of that more direct push on how this product specifically helps meet your goals.
Right, right. If that's the case, if you've done the lead up for 2 weeks and they've already got a pretty good idea of how the benefits and everything like that, then
Yep.
I think this is great copy, the way that you structured it, and the lead being if you struggle to find the time and the right teacher. Yeah, I don't see anything like inherently wrong with this. That was my only question, was like the lead, if they have enough context basically
Totally.
of
Yeah.
of this pitch. And then this one is, I mean, this one maybe you could have a little bit more fun with, right? Because these people are basically trying to learn Spanish because they're about to go on vacation or they're thinking of moving to another country, right? So
Yeah.
you could say something like, what is it, could you pass off as a local, or what does it really take to sound like a local, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just tell like a funny, like just try and think of like different ways to position, because it's the idea that you want to be able to be so good at Spanish that they think you're a native speaker.
Definitely, yeah. That they can haggle with the vendors and not get the tourist tax, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, kind of have fun with it. So you could,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like use examples like that where people, kind of put it up almost as like a challenge. Like, wouldn't it be great if you could pass off as a local and nobody would know that you've only been learning Spanish for 2 months or however long it takes,
Right.
Kind of position like that. That might be a stronger way to do it.
Because it more fits the tone of this group of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the content though is good. It's just, yeah, if you kind of reworked it with that angle, I think it might be stronger.
Sweet. And where I was trying to play with it a little bit was talking about how that dating matching service, but maybe that doesn't hit the right notes.
To match you up with the right teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends obviously how you position it, but basically, yeah, you could put something in quotes and say it's like matchmaking for learning Spanish, right?
Totally.
It's like we play the matchmaker, because you do. And I mean, there's a lot of services out there that do that, right? Like even, when they do like online counselors and stuff like that, they do it, it's the same format where you basically fill out a profile and they match you to some, the best counselor or online teachers, same tutors. It's like the same, all of the service providers.
Right. It's unusual in the language learning phase. The other two big competitors, you have to just go through pages and pages of tutors and guess.
Oh, to select one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so highlight that and you can say, yeah, think of it, this is where you have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say dating matching or just even matchmaking, right? Like we'll make sure that you get connected to the perfect teacher for your skill level and goals and things like that.
Cool. Great. Well, I appreciate, because I feel like I'm stronger with the trust building stuff and struggle more so with the direct sales. So it feels good to hear that overall the structure with the direct sales is looking good.
Yeah, you're doing good. Just if you're basically you're just tweaking the angles, right? But your overall structure and flow is right. It's spot on.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have Krista? We have 2 emails.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. So this is actually my first retainer client. So we're doing 20 emails a month. This first series is 12 days of Christmas. So we're pretty much rapid firing as she goes Facebook Live. I have like outlines ready, but obviously the bullets, like she goes live today.
Okay.
So I'm going to fill those in, but really like I've been getting good feedback from the client. I'd say my open rates are much stronger. I don't have like the specific stats, but my open rates are much stronger than my click-through rates. So
Okay.
yeah, just like to get some extra eyes.
What is she selling?
Oh, she is a expert recipe creator and meal planner. And she does Facebook Live videos as kind of like the free introduction to sign up for quarterly meal planning memberships.
Got it. Okay. So she basically just does like recipes and stuff inside a membership site.
Yes. So the goals for these emails is really just to get them to the Facebook videos, because then that gets them to her funnel.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you basically just need to hype up the upcoming video.
Yes.
You're saying. Okay.
Or the replay of it. Either way.
Mhm.
We're working through it as we go. Yes.
Okay. So this one is obviously pizza bites is what she's sharing on her.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, is this her overall structure for like, I mean, this is day 3. So is this how like the length and stuff is about the same for her emails?
Yep, the length. She's doing a daily giveaway too, so that's been a big focus. The next one is it's Oprah, kind of Oprah themed, but yeah, so the structure, and then we get into the recipe.
This is probably going to be a great open rate with that subject line. What is she giving away? Just out of curiosity.
It's a different meal prepping tool each day. So this one is a like produce saver. The day before was a meat thermometer or onion goggles.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you, with these emojis, are you planning to fill these in with other bullets?
Yeah. So she goes live at 3 p.m. every day. And so I send her the email that morning. Yeah. And then we plug in the bullets after the live.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Based on what happened in that.
Yes. Based on the video.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, you've got enough CTAs in here that there's no way that like somebody would miss miss what to do next.
Right. And deliverability wise, is there any or any advice on like what some of the better things you think are?
Well, these are these all going to the same? This must be a different offer, right? Or
yeah, they're just different Facebook Live links.
Okay, so I probably wouldn't get people to go over there. Just maybe mention, if you want to mention that we also have these other recipes, but if the goal of these emails is to get them to this specific replay or video, then make sure all of the CTAs go to the same place.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're going to have people like diverging off to other things when that wasn't the goal of this email, right? So like every email is going to have one specific purpose or goal, whether it's a CTA to go click onto a sales page or an advertorial or go watch a video. Just pick one action basically as your CTA that you link out to. Generally speaking, and this isn't like a hard and fast rule, but what, you know, my experience with what we stuck to usually is just 2 links per email for deliverability, and also doesn't feel like you're spamming the person.
Right.
You know, so if you can do that. I know yours is a bit different because you're talking about the replay, and then well, no, honestly, yours isn't that much different. You really could just link to the replay ones and then
Yeah, just do
leave out
those.
the ones.
Okay.
Yeah, leave out the ones where you're talking about other stuff, because you really don't want them to go there.
Right. Yeah, that might help to get them more directly there.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Otherwise it looks good. And same with this one, right? Like, I don't think you have that many in here.
No, yeah, I can definitely cut out the unnecessary ones. So
Yeah. But yeah, and you don't have any images. I know there's always debate about whether to put images or not in emails, because some email providers, they have deliverability issues when you add an image, because it doesn't load properly for some people. So you lose out on some of the audience. So text-based emails are usually kind of like a default. So, you don't have any images in here, so I wouldn't be worried about that. But you might want to test it at some point, because this is if it's all food, people love to look at food. Like, it's just
yeah, Lauren put that in the chat too. So yeah,
okay,
I might suggest that. Yeah, that's a great idea. So yeah, I might suggest that for sure. So
definitely test it, especially this kind of stuff, right? This is all like comfort food, right? Like the cheesy scalloped potatoes and pizza bites, and so yeah, people are going to be gravitating towards it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, you're welcome. Good luck with the 12 days of Christmas.
Yes, thank you. I also think Isaac had one before. Did we do before Amber? I missed it.
Oh, did I miss him? I did. Yeah, sorry about that, Isaac. Thanks.
Thank you, Sabah.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't mean to skip you there. We'll get him back. We'll get him on next. All right, Isaac, you there?
Okay. Yeah, so this is a lead for a mastermind, and it's 12,000, but I'm not trying to sell the mastermind. I'm trying to like sell the phone call.
Okay.
Pretty much. So I would hope like the lead I would like to get looked at, and then kind of just a quick little like direction of how to go with the phone call, like how to close that.
Got it.
But yeah, just lead overall, if I could get a quick look at it.
And this is a sales letter?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you still working on like the headline, or are you just focusing on the lead right now?
Yeah, I'm just focusing on the lead.
Okay.
The headline will come after.
So I moved to Seattle to marry the woman of my dreams, and then I asked for divorce. What forced me to do this? My business. Okay, so you were a slave to your business. Now you discovered something that helps you reclaim your time.
Yeah, this guy like wired Tony Robbins 150 grand and became a platinum member, and like traveled all around the world with him, and then that's how he like came to this realization. Gotcha.
So I think for the lead, this is a strong story, right? Like that it's sort of like an extreme story, extreme situation, right? That he had to, his situation ended up in having to divorce the love of his life, because, his career was like falling apart. It was driving him crazy, blah, blah, blah. So you could really start with a lot more emotion in that. So instead of just saying I moved to Seattle to marry her and then I asked for divorce, you kind of maybe set it up a bit more. So you could frame it that, you could say something like, I never thought you could, so let's pretend one way you could do it, like 6 months. That's all it took for me to get a divorce from the woman of my dreams. And then you go into explain why, like what happened, then you would say something like, I moved to Seattle, we did XYZ, we thought this was going to be a great thing for us. You can really talk about it like a real story, right? Like a real true life situation. Because the more you can do that, you ultimately, you want people to feel this extreme. I mean, I think because we're copywriters, it's easy for us to understand what emotions are behind this, but for the average reader, they're not going to get much from these, like these 3 lines.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just kind of expand on, like explain what happened, like, go back a little bit and say like, you can do shocking, statements like, I couldn't believe I was asking for divorce after just, 6 months of marrying the woman in my dreams, or however long they were married. I don't know what the full story was, but, really make it sound like it's a really, oh my God, what happened, so that somebody keeps reading.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because you've got strong, like, I guess, triggers in here, right? Like, this is great. In reality, the business was my master. And, explain that. Like, from the outside looking in, it looked like I had life. And you could talk about, we would go on vacations together or whatever was going on, right? Like, she was always so happy. And we were planning, our next trip or, but on the side, but, behind the scenes, I was working like a slave on my business, and talk about it, right? I mean, you do this a little bit. I wake up at 4 a.m., but expand it, like, think of like 5 more things you could add to that.
Okay.
Like I had like sleepless nights. My anxiety was through the roof, like I just couldn't enjoy anything. I mean, you have that here. My anxiety was through the roof. But yeah, just really, really build on that. Because the idea of doing these types of leads is really to create this like emotional hill where, you start off with like a, strong statement. And then now you're taking the reader up to like, oh my gosh, the emotion's getting stronger and stronger. And it gets to this like breaking point, right? And that's how you do it with your copy, is you take them up that hill and it gets to a breaking point, and then you show the relief and then what happened, and you continue telling the story.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And as far as the booking a call thing goes, yeah, you're gonna have to do a strong close after you've told the story, after you told the background, after you've introduced that there's a solution. And now basically he's saying that I have the solution, I want to share it with you, right? Like, get on a call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to have like very strong segues to get to that point. So make sure you're building it up enough that people are thinking, wow, this is unlike anything else out there right now. What is this guy doing? Just to trigger that call.
Gotcha. Okay. Do I need to highlight like the product details of like the mastermind or anything like that? Or
I wouldn't. I would actually, because you want them to get on a call and get the sales pitch from the salesperson, right?
Yeah.
So you would basically, what you want to do is position it as, basically you want to frame it as that, he went through this amazing experience, this discovery. What he discovered has completely changed everything for him. And now he's, for a limited time, he's sharing it with a select few people, or however you want to frame it. Okay. If you resonate with any of this, or if you feel the same way, get on a call, and I'll give you more information.
Gotcha.
You want to lead them into it. You don't want to sell it on here.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck.
Thanks.
So let's see if we got any. Lauren suggested I wouldn't talk about how he asked for divorce, make it more like the marriage fell apart. Yeah, the pain angle. I agree. Yeah, you can play with a lot of emotions here with this one. So, divorce, job change, life change. There's a lot of big things happening. So it's not easier, but you can definitely break out and do a lot of stories there. I think. Dan?
Hey, I was logged in on the wrong account, so my name's actually Daryl. But
oh, Daryl. Okay, sorry.
I was on his account for something else, and I logged in. I was like, oh wait.
I see.
Yeah, this was a campaign, so obviously there's way too many emails to look at. But yeah. It was a reactivation campaign for students of an offline guitar school that I own, and it was pushing them to register for a Zoom call. And so the opens were really good, but it was actually Dan who does all the writing for these when I play. We're not getting click-throughs on a lot of his emails. So I thought it'd be maybe if you could look at a few of them and just see why you think people aren't actually registering, if there's anything that you can see as a pattern or anything like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So 0% click-through on this one. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
So I do something insane. Four lessons for free. So explain to me what the orientation hour is.
So it's just an hour I hang out with students. It's like getting back into guitar is the way I describe it.
And that's how they claim their lessons, the 4 free lessons?
Yeah, they turn up. So they would turn up to that and then hang out with me, and I would basically talk to them about guitar, and then that's how they get into their 4 free lessons for the.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe, because I didn't pick up on that at all, that basically you have to show up to this and you get your 4 free lessons.
Okay.
So maybe you need to basically, I would spell that out, right?
Yeah.
Even though you say, in case you're wondering, all the lessons happening online, you say, so here's how to claim, here's how I want to give you 4 lessons, right? Show up for my orientation hour on this date. And exactly what you just told me, right? Like, I'm going to go through some tips and tutorials with you. And then at the end of the session, you'll get 4 lessons that you can use, you know. Is it like credits? Do they get credits or something?
Yeah, so it's all group lessons, so they get credit and they can just show up to classes. Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, I would just literally explain that, because I don't think your offer is clear enough. Because you start off with like, this is an insane offer, and then it's sort of, we lose the insanity, right? Like, I'm not feeling insane when I'm not feeling the insanity when I read that CTA. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Cool.
Yeah, because that insane angle works really well when you have a really good deal, and it sounds like yours is a really good deal, but you have to keep that momentum and excitement going throughout. Because I mean, you go into a story email with this one, you know, and usually with I have an insane offer for you, they're usually more direct, and they actually just tell you the offer. You can still do it with the story email, but I would definitely, you know, work on keeping that enthusiasm and excitement up throughout the email, so that people are like, oh my gosh, how do I get this offer? Is the feeling you want to generate.
That's true. That's really smart. I hadn't noticed that it's a direct lead and then goes into a story.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I hadn't noticed that. So that's really smart too.
Yeah. Do you want me to look at a couple other ones?
Yeah, that would be really helpful. If there's maybe it's probably the same, a similar thing on the other one.
Did you get it? Did you get my gift to you? If you want gift for the month of it, I give you 4 guitar lessons for free. Yeah, this one's a bit more direct.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, you don't tell people that they get the 4 lessons when they show up to this event, right?
Okay.
So just basically just spell it out. Just say, and hopefully, you know, I mean, this is good for you for these reasons. And so claim your free lessons, because so tonight at 7 p.m., here's how you, basically you say something like, here's how you claim your free lessons. Tonight at 7 p.m., I'm doing this orientation session. Show up, I'll walk you through some tutorials, and at the end of the event, I'll give you, you know, you can claim the credits for your free lessons, or whatever your process is. Just make it very crystal clear on what they have to do to claim those, claim the freebie.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that might be the pattern in all of these, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably it. And I think that's in general, like I've noticed, he's got getting really high open rates, but our click through is just not good. So that's probably
yeah, because you've got really good bait, basically. You know, your subject lines are solid. And that's why the open rates are so high. But it's like you've given the bait, and then they end up just swimming away. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be I'm noticing that is pretty much the pattern as you get into the CTA, is just literally spell out, so here's how to get your free lesson.
It's not clear. That's
right.
Cool. Thank you. That's really helpful.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Like 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Do we have any others? Did I miss anybody? Or is that it? My dog's not very happy right now.
Have time.
You have another one?
Yeah, I'll just go find it unless someone else jumps in.
Yeah, for sure. No, and any of you guys, if you have more questions, feel free to drop. Yeah, so I bought my dog. He's really small. I don't know if you've seen him running back and forth, but it was really hard to find him one of those dog collars that stop the barking. And I guess they have one, but it's for smaller dogs. But the thing that actually makes them stop barking is giant. It's like this giant thing around his neck. So he has to wear it until he starts barking. But it's not a shock collar. Don't worry. I wasn't going to shock my little dog. Yeah, I don't think they're designed for kids, Lauren. Just shock him with wild claims from copy. Yeah, I try and do that, Tim. That's sort of my litmus test, right? When I'm writing copy, I run it by him and see if he. But do you guys have any other questions? How did Black Friday promos go? Any big wins to share or any exciting discoveries? Nobody? Maybe nobody in this group was doing Black Friday. I remember last week or the week before Thanksgiving, we had a lot of people working on Black Friday stuff. So Tim says, pretty good double client monthly revenue for the month. Okay, yeah, pretty good. That is pretty good. Got some good results from clients. Awesome. Okay, so Daryl, let's take a look.
So this is an upsell for a dating product.
Okay.
Which is really, it's kind of early doors, but it's relatively filled out. It's upsell number 2, upsell 1. Sorry, the original product was online dating, how to use Tinder. Upsell 1 was done for you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is upsell 2, which is what the hell is it? It says on the page. Oh, it's like a how to approach women in real life. It's like add tools to your belt kind of thing. So now you can attract women online. It's like now, what if you could talk to her in a coffee shop?
Gotcha. Okay.
As a thing. And so the angle that I'm going for is going to be like a traffic source kind of thing. Is like, oh, online is only one traffic source for dating.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Is this the copy for that? This is called the instant messaging.
No, this is congratulations on
Oh,
buying.
this is the original product, right?
Yeah. So
what is this one called?
this is 5 days to your perfect 10.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So some of it's not totally filled out.
Okay.
I guess I'd like feedback on if you think that's the right angle to go for with this, or whether you think there's a different angle that I could go for.
Did you use Justin Goff's upsell?
Yeah. So all of the red pieces are his upsell
his
template. And
yeah, great.
Whether this is the right upsell itself, I'm not super sure on, but I don't really have the liberty of choosing that in this case.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so you're going from like a dating guide, right, to the master playbook to done for you scripts that they can use online, and now you're selling basically an offline program, right? Like how to do things.
No, this is it's a 5-day course, which is like it's a $97 5-day course, which is basically a warmer-upper to try and get them on a boot camp.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He used it as a kind of front end somewhere else, but now he's trying to put it in this funnel as it's a bit of a Hail Mary.
Okay.
Got it. Funnel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that
Sure
sounds like a front end offer. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if it's a 5-day program, you could position it as a 5-day challenge, right? So you could say that like this is join this, register for this 5-day challenge, and we'll walk you through step by step how to do XYZ. Because those have strong appeal.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because that's essentially what you're doing, right? In the
because so far I've done like a business analogy of like, oh, if you have a business and you have leads, but it's really boring for dating. I think
I see it. Yeah.
Like, let's turn sex and make it really boring.
Well, do you think the guys in this market is about getting more dates, or is it actually finding the right woman?
That's true. The whole purpose of what the product's supposed to, the big promise, is getting them comfortable enough that when they meet someone who they think is more attractive than them, they'll actually be comfortable with meeting them, talking to them, being with them as a person.
Okay. So building up their confidence, really.
Yeah.
To be like a confident dater. Pretend it's a confident dater program.
A significant issue for these guys is like they know the stuff, but they have imposter syndrome about who they're with, or they get into a relationship with someone who they think's too good for them and start self-sabotaging.
Right. All the mental stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out maybe, okay, here it is, the remove your mental blocks. I'm looking for the deliverables. Like, what is the things that they get?
It's access to a Facebook group with 5 days of videos.
Okay.
Is what's happening in it. And then, so the benefits I've written are what's in the videos.
Yeah. Where is that? Or is it still being worked on?
This is still being worked on, but I think it's, sorry, this is not a page that I've looked at in a few days. So I think it's below that on there.
Okay, go in depth and tell them.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking if you just organize it in a way that says, like, video 1, you'll walk away from this video with XYZ, right? Video 2 or day 2, if you do it as the challenge, then by day 2, you're going to know how to do XYZ. Like, make them almost like fascinations, right? For the descriptions, because you want people to feel like what you want them to think is that you've got this insider knowledge or information or techniques or strategies, and they could get access to it, right? So it's like behind closed doors right now, behind this program. And if you can explain that you can share all of this with them in just 5 days, and they'll have exclusive access or whatever, it makes it sound a lot more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could bullet out what they'll walk away from, on day 1 or video 1, like video 2 covers XYZ, and after you watch this video, you are going to be able to do this, you'll feel like this level of confidence, you won't have any problems talking to her, at a coffee shop, whatever the outcomes are. And
then dimensionalize those long. Okay, that's really helpful.
Yeah,
I think because it's videos, I kind of got stuck with it, that's really cool. So you can do, I hadn't even thought you could do the same thing with, like, on page 3, you would do with a PDF, but you can do it with video. That's really helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Just like when you do those fascinations, when you're doing bullets and you're trying to create some sort of mystery behind what's in the video, and obviously giving enough of the video, what's in the video, so that they feel like, okay, I really need this course, or I really need to do this challenge.
That's really cool.
I do think positioning it as a challenge would be a good way to do this, so that they don't feel like, oh, I got to work through another program, right? Because when people do challenges, they feel like, oh, it's just like a daily, like, homework lesson or whatever. It's rather than having to go through another program.
That's helpful.
But yeah, otherwise, structure-wise, I mean, you're obviously following Justin's. And is this going to be a video? This is going to be a video pitch, right?
Yeah, so we're going to test it as text first.
Okay.
I'll probably take what I've done and then what you just said and A/B test them, and then we'll turn whichever one's slightly better into a video.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, you're on the right track. And I think the biggest thing is going to be fleshing out exactly what they get from the videos.
Benefits section. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really helpful.
Okay, good. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Got some comments. Let's see. Lauren said, honestly, he's not a fan of the angle. I hope business comparison leads prospects. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that too. Maybe rework that part too. Try and think of another analogy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I find it, yeah. I fall asleep thinking about it. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it didn't pass the test. Yeah, and think about where these guys are, right? Like, if they are just looking for going on lots of dates, or are they actually looking for a partner, long-term, a real relationship, or the woman of their dreams, whatever, however you want to describe it.
Question for you, on an upsell, so with the format that I'm looking at from Justin's, is like, on an upsell, it doesn't seem to fit like a story angle so well. Would you still just do a story lead on an upsell, or would you go more for a direct offer?
It depends, because I think this offer is different enough than your front end offer and the previous upsell that you are making like a new pitch, right? So it might help to have a story or a testimonial or something that really impresses people to say that, how did this work for him?
That's cool, because I originally wrote a story lead for this, and then I was like, oh no, I can't do that. So actually that's really helpful.
Yeah, no, you could, because this is completely different than your front end offer. Usually, like, not usually, but sometimes, you have like a front end offer, then upsell one is very congruent to the the first offer, and then upsell 2 is sort of like another, it's usually like coaching or something. It's like an extension of the previous 2 upsells. But in this case, you're basically introducing a whole new product, you know, with the 5-day challenge or 5-day video program.
That's
So
cool.
you might be able to pitch it with the, you know, like just like you would like a sales page.
Okay, so we'll try a story lead as well. Okay, that's really helpful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely worth testing. Test as much as you can.
Yes, and thanks, Tim and Lauren, for feedback.
Yeah, great feedback from everyone. And I think Krista and Amber, you both have more. Awesome.
So this is the same email sequence. It's day 6 at this point. Actually, no, I think it's day 4 or 5, but email 6. I know FAQ emails are pretty formulaic, but I've never actually written them as an email before, normally more tagged on to the end of like a TSL.
Okay.
So wondering about both if the structure and answers make sense, but more particularly the transition in and out of the FAQ.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can just do simple FAQs, right? Like just question, answer, but I might suggest that you make them shorter answers. Because usually the FAQs, it's going to be just like what's on the sales page. I don't know if these are the exact same, or do you have a separate like database?
There is no sales page for this. It's only a website.
Oh, okay. Yeah, normally I would just take it from the sales page and might just rewrite some of the answers so that they're either a bit more fleshed out or shorter. I'm just wondering lengthwise, these might be too long for people to stay engaged to scroll to the next question, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And just a really simple formatting thing. I know you've got these dashes to separate them, but if you can bold the questions, that might help for people to scan it, to find the question that's most relevant to them. You have to think when you're doing an FAQs list, like people are looking for their question, right? They're not going to read all of the potential questions. So as long as you know that these actually are frequently asked questions, and you can position them in a way that it's easy to see what the question is and then also the answer, you'll have their interest.
Cool.
And is there a CTA on this?
At the bottom, yeah, which is 6 pages down.
Right. Oh, so it's just reply?
Yep.
So I'm wondering maybe, because if you think about it, if you're the reader and you only really had one question and your question ends up being in the middle of this page, once you read your answer, you essentially want your CTA in here, right? Like, so now what do they do? So
Gotcha.
you could even add the CTA inside the answer of each one. I mean, you could rewrite it in different ways, but essentially just pretend like the reader doesn't read all the rest, right? Because most won't. They're just going to look for the question that's relevant to them.
Cool, that's a good idea.
Yeah, especially because you don't have a link. You just have a reply to this email.
Eventually, I'm working with them to create an online calendar that will be a link, but it's going to be several months down the road.
Okay, yeah, that would be ideal. But honestly, you could, at the end of each answer of these, you could say something like, and don't forget, that's what your trial lesson does. You're qualified for the trial lesson. So if you want to take advantage of it, just hit reply and let me know. Like you could put the same CTA in all of these answers.
Nice.
Yeah, just kind of relevant to the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation on that. Do we have any feedback from?
It looks like they're still talking about wingmans.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I was going back. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I think Arlene, yeah. So it's like answer every question separately as if the reader would, yeah, exactly. Because most people won't. They're only going to read the ones that's relevant to them, right? So that would be my recommendation on this one. You like to write these like super complex email campaign, like the multi 20, 30 email string campaigns.
I do, yeah. I think they're fun, and I actually owe some gratitude to Ian Stanley actually, because he taught this whole thing called a trust funnel
Awesome.
And that's what I pitched to this person, and they loved it.
Okay, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about like engaging and building trust, obviously, just by providing them with good content and call to actions. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then who do we have? Krista for an advertorial.
Yes. So I've probably done 15 advertorials now for this company, Miracle Sheets. So the creatives are not like, we have lots of ideas for different ones, but the headlines, I think they're starting to get a little repetitive with the, so yeah, headline brainstorming. They love to start with questions. It's not my favorite thing. We've tested some other ones, but they love to start with questions.
So my first, when you said, do you sleep with a night sweater? I'm literally thinking like a sweater. It's not a.
I thought about putting that in parentheses. Like,
yeah, I think maybe that would be a good idea.
Okay.
Or even explain, like, do you sleep with a night sweater in quotes, and then say like somebody who sweats like crazy at night, right? Like just kind of explain it a bit.
I thought that at first. It's one of the huge like pain points for people with sheets is sleeping with, and they call it that. But yes, I thought, okay, good. My instincts are good on that one. Then I'll add that there.
Yeah, so I really like this one, but I think I get what's happening here. You're trying to say that what you're trying to say is even my husband loves these sheets, right? So I would use that even my husband loves these sheets, because usually the husband or the guys don't care for the sheets, right? They usually don't have an opinion about them, but the ones that do are. We're trying to say that they absolutely love this. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that comes into play. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, no offense to all the guys on this call. It's just a fact of life. Daryl says, no, it's true. Lauren actually loves good sheets. So yeah, but you could say something like, even my husband loves these sheets, or even my husband can't stop talking about these sheets, right? Because that's the message you're trying to get across.
Yes.
And then these sheets solve my husband's night sweats. Oh, so we're assuming that the guy is the one that's sweating like crazy and making life difficult.
That's what there's I think I have 6 testimonials in this advertorial that all say almost like the same thing in different wording, but they literally are all like, my husband no longer sweats at night.
Right.
Like,
I see it.
Always the husband.
Interesting. So you could do something like you could do something like, my husband used to sweat buckets every night, until we started using these sheets, and here's what happened. I've seen like those here's what happened, and you won't believe what happened next. Those types of advertorial headlines.
Right.
It's like, I started using this product and you wouldn't believe what happened.
That's okay. Yeah, a little more visceral, a little more visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
What are they debating? Does anyone actually sleep like the couple on the right?
Oh, and so because you've done advertorial, so I mean, it's not really up to me to pick the picture. They have some pictures that they use, but I'm curious. With advertorials, does the picture pretty much always show the end result?
No, it can be like a weird picture. Like you see all those native ads where they have like the weird fruit and the spoon with like crazy things inside of it. Like it can be like an odd looking picture is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't even have to be relevant to the to the advertorial.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if you can find a creative way to show like sweaty sheets, like like a big pool of sweat on the bed or something, like that might work easily as well.
Right. Okay.
You guys, Girlene, you've never seen you've never seen the native ads where they have like a spoon. They've used it in Facebook as well, where it's just like a spoon that has like some weird seeds or something in it, and that is just the picture. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Oh, that's a good one too.
But yeah, talk more about maybe in the headlines, just for talk more about the actual sweating. So like if you can think of clever ways to describe drenched sheets, basically, right?
Right.
Drenched and gross.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, no, I like and here's what happened. That'd be a good new one. I don't think we've tried with this.
Yeah,
particular-
those are good. And like there's the here's what happened, or you know, we did this, you know, like we finally got in bed with these sheets and you wouldn't believe what happened next. I mean, you could embellish that a bit more, but the idea being that, you know, you would not believe what happened, you know. Like,
Right.
it got in bed with these sheets. Yeah. That's a good one. No pun was intended there.
There's been some great puns. It's actually really fun to write these advertorials, but yes,
Yeah.
there's been some a little more risque moments. So
yeah.
I appreciate all that. Those are great ideas. So thanks.
All right. Yeah. Have fun with this one.
Thank you.
This is good. Miracle sheets. Is this, so what is it? It just takes away all the moisture?
Yeah, they're infused with all natural silver. So they're antibacterial, thermoregulating, you know, all the buzzwords these days.
So, I mean, you could say like, you could say something about these silver sheets, right? Like these silver infused sheets or something like that. And
Just put that right in the headline.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not explaining what it is. You're not saying miracle sheets or whatever, but
Right.
you could hint that like these sheets have silver in them, and then we tried them and you wouldn't believe what happened. I mean, that's not the headline, but that's the message you're trying to get across.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Silver infused or something like that. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
good luck.
Thank you.
Let's see, are there any other ones? I don't think so. I think I covered everybody. If I forgot you, no, please don't take offense. It's sometimes hard to see all the chats, but definitely drop your questions or links in here now if you have anything else. Otherwise, we will wrap up. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. So I will let you guys know. I will be at Stefan's office next week, so I might have to change the time for the call, but I'll keep you guys posted on that if it's changing. Otherwise, I'll plan on doing it from San Diego. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks, everyone.